Hello, friends. Today's poem is The World is Too Much with Us by William Worth Smith. Let's start. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, and we lay waste our power. The speaker began, The world is too much with us. With the term the world, and the reader quickly begin to understand what that term means in this context. He is talking about the worldly care and concerns such as money, possession, and power, and he concludes that it is too much with us, meaning that we care for too much about these worldly things. He gives more depth of thought to this idea when he suggests that by using our time, mind, and energy in getting and expanding, that we lay waste our power. In other words, people have powers beyond that which they have tap into because they are so busy in getting and spending. They are tied up in the greed and more money, and their time is accounted by their action of getting money, expending money, and caring for their possession. He believed that money and worldly possession are far more important to people than they should be. In these lines, the speaker contrasts nature with the world. He reveals that while people spend their time in acquiring worldly possession, the true beauty of the earth cannot be owned. He reveals that very few things that people see in nature actually belong to them. He then laments, We have given our heart away. He believed that we should enjoy nature. Should it is not our to own. Instead, we are filled with greed and we acquire wealth and worldly possession rather than enjoying nature. The speaker then continued by describing the beauty of nature that people are missing out on by being so caught up in the want for money and the possession. In these lines of the world is too much with us, the speaker described the beauties of nature that most people are missing out on. He describes the world and the wind and the flower. His description of this part are nature use personification to help the reader to connect with each description. The sea bears her blossom to the moon, which suggests an intimacy between the moon and the sea. The vine halts. This gives the vine human emotion. The flower sleep, giving this part of nature human attribute, help the reader to feel this connection with nature. It paints a picture of nature and allow the reader to understand what he is missing out on by being caught up in the worldly possession and the greed. These lines are the speaker's final exclamation that we are out of tune and nature because we are so caught up in worldly wealth. Here the speaker wear an oath that he would rather be a poor pagan than be so distracted by the worldly wealth so as to render himself unable to enjoy the true beauty of life. He appeals to God and even exclaims that he would rather be a pagan than to be out of touch with nature. In these final lines, the speaker reveals that if he were the poor pagan, he would have glimpses of nature that would give him joy and hope, or at least make him feel less forlorn. He would rather be a poor and helpless and connected with nature than rich and powerful, alienated from it. In the final two lines, he referred to the two pagan gods. Proteus was thought to be able to tell the future, thought he avoided doing so if he could. The speaker implies that had he been a pagan, perhaps he could imagine being in touch with Proteus, or at least catching a glimpse of him as he stares out across the sea. Triton was the pagan god that was said to be able to climb the wave of the sea. This implies that the speaker looked out of the sea, enjoying nature long enough to see Triton and Proteus. The speaker referred to these two pagan gods after he first appeals to God and smear that he would rather be a pagan than alienated from the nature. Thank you, and if you like it, please like and subscribe my channel. And if you have any problem in any topic, please tell me in the comment box and I will try to make the video on in that topic. Thank you.